Hey everyone, I'm here to do a Q&A video. I've not really done one of these ever in my life. There's never been a reason to, but it seems there's a lot of questions. So I figured I'd just go through a couple of them, answer it, and hopefully that brings some clarity to what's going on here. All right, so the first question is, it would be good to know what inspired this trip and what you've done to prepare for it and what route you're planning on taking and how long it's meant to take. It's like 4 questions, but okay. What inspired this trip is probably just that I'm a human and I felt like I wasn't getting the human experience. I felt like I was just doing things for the sake of doing it because it's the right thing to do. And I'm like, bro, there's other right things to do. So, there's going to be a plethora of reasons behind all of this stuff, but that's what I'll lead with. It's not, I wouldn't necessarily say that's my why, but it's a strong reason as to what inspired this. I wanted the human experience. And what did I do to prepare? I mean, I've been going to the gym, I've been training for years now. So I think physically I'm in a good place. Mentally, I read, I study, I try and take care of my mentals. And I think mentally I'm in a good place for this as well. But in terms of like survival, I have very limited survival experience. But at the same time, I know myself and I know I can figure it out. So good enough. What route? So in this current moment, and things can change if I'm going to be completely honest, but in this current moment, I'm planning on taking the route from the UK through France, through Italy, uh, across the Balkans, into Greece, into Turkey, and then at that point, I'll probably stop and replan just because, moving into the Middle East and moving into Africa, things are, let's call it ever changing. So, so yeah, from that, probably take some time and figure out, okay, what's the next steps here? Because there's certain countries that I may not be able to go into unless my insurance is okay with it. I probably won't go in just because, safety, right? And how long is it meant to take? Now, there's not actually a deadline or a timeline on it, but for myself, I've estimated anywhere between a year and a year and a half. And if it takes longer, it takes longer because there are some countries that I do think it would be cool to just stop by in those countries. So, yeah. Uh, Someone's asked me, what do you miss most about home? I think what I miss most about home is probably, people are expecting me to say family and friends here, but truth be told, I'm missing comfort. Truth be told, comfort is like knowing where the toilet is at all times, knowing where water is at all times. That's very impactful. Family and friends. I have phone, I can just call them. Like, but toilet, I can't just call a toilet. I have to walk for miles at times to find the toilet. And I know there's some toilet questions. I'll get to that later. But yeah, and then probably following from that immediate level of comfort is going to be obviously my family, my friends. Okay. Free Spirit has asked, when your body gets tired, what keeps your mind moving forward? Like I said, I've prepped mentally. Mentally, I think I'm a lot tougher than I am physically. Mentally, I can handle a lot, and at the end of the day, it's just walking. So, truth be told, there are times when I can't be bothered to pick up the camera actually and be like, "Hey guys," that's the truth. Sometimes my social battery, especially I think it was 2 3 days ago, I just wanted to like walk. I was there like thinking, going through it a little bit. It wasn't my best day, and I was just like, ugh, I just want, but I'll just continue. I'll soldier on, but then doing the other things and presenting with energy, I think that's its own different situation. But even with that being said, I like how that ended up. I like how rather than me pretending I had high energy and hey guys, it's so amazing today. Like no, I was just like, look guys, it's a bit of a rough patch, but this is what I'm doing to try and keep my mental good. So the fact that I can be honest and transparent, and honestly, I didn't know how it would be received. I actually thought it could be one of the worst received videos, but people received it pretty well. So I love that I can just be honest and transparent, and we see how that goes. What's the next question? What moment so far made you realize that this journey is bigger than just walking? I think there was a conversation I had 2, 3 days ago. See, it's always been in my mind that in certain countries, in certain places, I'm going to stop by, I'm going to talk to people because I love talking to people. I mean, I'm a self-proclaimed psychologist, philosophist, or philosopher, whatever. Like, that's really my bag. I care a lot about self-development. I care a lot about people, unbeknownst to most. And there was a time, maybe 2, 3 days ago, where I went to get some food, and in the place where I went to get some food, the guy there, he was going through a bit of a rough patch, and we had a lovely conversation. Honestly, we had a very, very nice conversation. I spent maybe an hour with him, hour and a half. By the time I was leaving, he told me he loves me. He wishes me all the best. I told him, brother, I miss you. I wish you all the best as well. And I think that's, for me, that's the biggest thing. I really want to connect with people. I really want to see wherever I can help, then that's something I really am inclined towards doing. And that's not even me saying like, even because one thing I'm kind of apprehensive of is I don't want to paint this picture of like, oh, this guy's like this. But I'm just a guy like the rest of you, and I feel for people sometimes, just like most of you do feel for just like most of you will feel for people sometimes. I feel for people as well, and where possible, I love to be able to help people. So it's not that I'm a special or I'm a super good guy. I don't know if any of that's true. I just know that I like to help people where I can, and I really enjoy connecting with people, and just treating people like people, because like I said earlier, I want to be a human, and part of being a human is human connection. Now, what's the most beautiful or unexpected thing you've seen since you started walking? Probably the people. People have been extremely kind in real life, on social media. People have been extremely, extremely kind. They've helped me out so much. I mean, today I'm sat in this hotel because somebody chose to help me out, and I definitely do appreciate it. People are sending money to me through my PayPal, link in bio. No, but for real, people have really been helping me out, and it does a lot. Even on the roads, it's not always just money. Sometimes people send me messages, and I'll be honest, I think I've read every single message, every single comment. I've tried to respond wherever I can. I'm just walking sometimes, and I'll just be going through them, reading them, and there's thousands of them at this point. And bro, it's so kind, and I love it so much. If anything, the one thing that I do think about though is all these people who are being really kind to me, which I definitely do appreciate. I have been thinking quite a lot about, are they being this kind to the people in their lives? Do they spread this type of love to them? Because it would be a shame if it was just coming to me because of what I'm doing. Because I get it. I get it. I think it's cool too. But I mean, when I wasn't doing this, I would have loved these type of messages. And I'm sure your friends, your family would probably love these messages as well. So just putting that out there. Uh, what's one life lesson you've learned already that changed how you see the world? Don't jump to conclusions. I mean, I kind of knew that already, but I think the biggest thing that people have told me in terms of a threat is people. They've told me there's a lot of racists. They've told me this. They've told me that. And I have always been kind of apprehensive towards this because I'm sure they are, and I'm sure they do exist, but I can't then walk around everywhere with my guard up, thinking everybody's trying to do the worst to me, because that's not fair, and also that limits my experience with people. So I find it a lot. I find it to be quite similar to when some people will look at Muslims, for example, and say they're all like this, or they'll look at Africans and say they're all like this. I'm not gonna look at the English or the Caucasian, whatever we want to call them, and say, oh, they're all racist. I've not met anybody racist yet. And I've spoken to so many people. I've been through town after town after town. Everybody has helped me. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm simply not gonna do. I'm sure these people exist, but they are very much in minority, and I'm not going to just like muddle my brain up and put my guard up, because I don't think it's fair. And when you finally step into Kenya, what do you want that moment to mean? I don't know. We'll find out. Uh, how have you planned, and how much will you be spending? Bit of a tricky question to answer, you know. How do you plan for something like this? You get the gear, you get an understanding of the route, and then you sort of just go and you figure it out on the way. You can't plan for what happens 9 months from now, because things can be very different 9 months from now. So I just made sure I was in good physical and mental shape. I made sure that I knew the route. I made sure I had every equipment required, which probably got me to a heavier weight than I wanted to be, in the fact that I'm carrying 15 to 20 kg depending on what's in my bag in terms of food and water at any time. So that can be a bit tricky. And then how much will I be spending? That really depends, honestly. I'm trying to limit my spending as much as possible. I know people have been kind with their donations, but I also stepped out with a bit of a budget. And for me, for my budget to go as far as possible, I need to spend as little as possible, especially because I don't know how long this journey is going to be. I can't expect that, you know, support will just continuously come in. I can't expect that some sponsor will come in. So for me, I just try to spend as little as possible. Now, thankfully, my spending tends to just be food, water, and the caveat will be the occasional hotel. So if any hotel branch wants to sponsor me, I promise I'll stop by all the time. Because I especially in the winter, I do need somewhere to stop off every now and then and just recharge a bit. And the Wi-Fi, not the Wi-Fi, the signal tends to be shocking in the out country. So yeah, it's good to be able to get away from that. Now, let me head over to TikTok real quick and just, have I planned the trip, or is it a wing it and prayer? I'd say it's a mix. Apart from reaching the destination, what are you hoping to achieve from this journey? I think the biggest thing that I want to do is I want to make an impact on people across the world, especially as I walk, and I want to help even the guys watching to do that as well. So I think it's probably a good time for me to discuss this now. It's not going to start now, just because there's still so many logistics that have to be set up behind the scenes, and I have to understand how to do it with full transparency. But what I want to do is I want to set up a charity. On the way, every country that I go through, what I want to be able to do is, okay, you need this, and this. Like I go to a family, or I find somebody who actually needs help. Someone tells me somebody actually needs help. And if we can help them, myself and you guys involved, then we help them there and then, and we move on to the next place. I think that would be the most awesome way to actually make an impact, especially while traveling through the world, for us to see that impact in real time, to see what it does, and then to be able to move on. We don't need 6 months of fundraising and this and that. If somebody needs something, we get it for them and we move. So that's my dream. That's what I would really want to happen on this road. How that happens, if that happens, we leave that up to the Most High. But that's the type of impact that I think would be incredible. And do my legs hurt? I'm just gonna put a clip in here, watch that. زي ما انت نسيتني في يوم بتمنى انساك وانسى ان انا حبيتك يوم ويجي النوم او يجي الموت. I don't know how long I'm supposed to. Okay, surely that's done. Alright, cool. I might need a tent upgrade. I actually have a Durston X Mid 2. And it's a good tent. I really do think it is a really good tent. Sometimes condensation can be a bit of an issue, but generally speaking, the tent definitely does its job. And I'll probably do a gear video before I leave as well. What a legend. Love you. Thank you. What did you do before you started this journey, like as a job? Well, I come from a bit of a mixed background. I've done so many jobs in my time. You know, I started working probably at 16. Like probably many of you, so I've been a waiter, I've worked in a cafe, blah blah blah, Amazon warehouse. I've done all those types of jobs. I've done online businesses, to some success and to some failure. But professionally, like let's say post uni, big boy jobs, whatever, I worked as a software engineer, and then after about a year and a half, I left that. I wanted to work in a startup. I did some like little businesses on the side, like what do we call it? Like agency work. So I was providing software products for people who required that, and that sort of led me down a sales route. So then I spent a couple months in recruitment. Not really my vibe. If you know recruitment, you'll understand why. And then I left that, and now I'm here. Can I lower the background music a little so you can hear me? Sure. How far am I now? Okay. Now here's the thing. If I answer this question, I'm not posting this video now. So what I'll do is I'll answer the question and I'll schedule the video for 24 hours from this point. Just because it's a safety first thing. But I'm currently in a place called Burton upon Trent, which is 62 miles, I believe, from my starting location. And let's see. I've got a question here about live streaming. Will I live stream? I would flipping love to live stream. Logistically, it's a bit tricky though. I mean, to be fair, I could have live streamed like tonight. I was in a hotel. No one would have known where I am. I just don't have to say it. And I think I will live stream at some point. Even I'd love to live stream while walking. But because I'm just walking by myself, there is this whole safety thing of like, I don't really want people to know where I am exactly at any point. You know, I post the videos a day behind for a reason. I could always post it that same night, but I keep it a day behind for. Why did you choose winter? Yeah, I definitely understand that question. I didn't choose winter. Winter chose me, you know. I was just ready to go. Like mentally. I've been like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to step out. And it just so happened that it was October. And it even took longer than I wanted it to take for me to leave the door. So by the time I stepped out, I think it was October 23rd. And it is what it is. But winter chose me. I didn't choose winter. If it was my take, I'm rolling the months back right now. And we're in early June, July. But you can't do that. Shoes and boots. Okay. There's a lot of talk about shoes and boots. Yeah. I have Nike Pegasus Gore-Tex Trail runners. I thought they were going to be really good. Me and ChatGPT talked about it. You know, I'm seeing online, everyone's like, don't get hiking boots, get a pair of trail runners. So I thought these were going to be incredible. And to their note, they have been. They've been really good shoes. But the one caveat is due to their lack of waterproofness, and I thought they were waterproof, bear in mind, Gore-Tex and all of that. But when it gets wet inside, I do become prone to blisters, and that has slowed me down on multiple occasions now. So yeah, they are due for a replacement. But with that being said, you know, I spent like 130 on them, so I don't just want to throw them away. I want to give them their life. So yeah, and I've seen a bunch of people have been kind enough. They've told me they'll send me out some new boots, and I'll probably take them up on their message at some point. But for now, I want to give these a bit more life. And if I'm really starting to think, okay, this is just a disaster, then I'll probably message one of these kind people who have told me they'll get me some new shoes, they'll get me some new boots, and we'll sort that out, we'll arrange that. But for now, I think they're doing a decent enough job, you know, especially when I'm walking on the road on a dry day. I couldn't ask for anything different. The only issue really starts when it gets really muddy or really wet. How does it feel crossing those lonely paths? Honestly, I'm a bit of a strange person in the sense that I don't mind being alone. I'm not lonely, but I don't mind being alone. And then when I do want to talk to somebody, I've got friends, I've got family, I've got a massive family. I can always call somebody. So I've not really had any sort of issues with that. And honestly, sometimes I've got to tell them, I'll be like, yo guys, give me a little bit. Let me just have some time walking. Let me have some time to myself, read my books. My books have kept me company for years. So like I'm good with that. I've not got lonely in the slightest. And I probably will at some point. I'm not immune to it, but I've got love all around me, so I'm not really struggling for that. Very thankful for that, by the way. Okay, I'll answer the question that everybody really wants to know. How do you go to the toilet when you need a number two? And the answer is rather simple so far, thankfully. I find a bathroom. Simple. I've been to pubs, churches, shops, hotels, restaurants. I'll find a bathroom. I'll find one. Because the other choice, let me show you the other choice. This is my other choice. It's to dig a hole in the ground, to do the business, to cover the hole. This is a big emotional step. This is a very, very big emotional step. And I just don't think I'm ready yet. I'm sure a time will come where I just don't have a choice. But I don't think I'm ready for this yet. I'm so glad that this is perfectly clean. It's not touched the soil yet. It's yet to break ground. And I'm so happy for that. And I'm sure a time will come where in an emergency, I'll be so thankful I have this. It's why I got it after all. But right now, I'm simply not ready. If I was forced to use this tomorrow, I'd be going through it. I'd be going through it. I'm like, no. Okay. Okay, and the last question of practicality is going to be, how do I charge my phone? I have 2 power banks. So one is here, the other one is currently charging. I keep them both just charging. Whenever I go anywhere, I charge them, I top them up. I've got my phone. It has full battery health. I took it to Apple, got a fresh battery put in before I set out. So my phone's battery health is good. And then like all the little gadgets, I think my headlamp, I charge that pretty much every other night. I'll just plug it in for 10 minutes. It charges up. My pump, I just plug that in anytime. Like, just charge it. I mean, I'm still in the UK. It's not hard to find power. Pretty much what my plan is, whenever I go to eat, before I sit down and eat, I ask the magic 2 questions for me, which is 1, can I sit here and just chill after I'm finished eating? And 2, can I use your plug sockets? And if the answer is yes, I will eat there. If the answer is no, unless that's the only food for a very long time, I will sit there and I will eat. Oh no, I mean I will leave. But people have been great. Like I said, people have been awesome. I don't expect anyone to ever say no. I'm sure someone might, but so far no one has ever said no. Especially once I tell them why and what's going on. People are cool, man. I don't know why everyone thinks people are hostile. People are cool, man. I'm telling you, people are cool. You guys, you watching, you're cool, man. So if you guys are cool, the people outside are cool as well. Honestly, you just have to give everyone an opportunity to show their coolness. And yeah, with that being said, I think this has been a good timed video, 20 something minutes. I hope it's answered a lot of your questions. If there's anything left, feel free to just put it in the comments. That would be awesome. I'll get through to every single one. That's a pinky promise. It might take me a little bit of time. Any questions, put it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the daily videos. Peace.